Hey everyone, it's Kelly. Thanks for joining me. I am back today with a new layout for the Altenew Stamped Dies and Paper Pack new release for December. And I was sent some really fun goodies from Altenew to play with, and I actually created two layouts using these products. I'm just showing you here what Altenew sent me, and they sent me this first stamp set, which is the Delicate Primrose stamp set, which is one of those gorgeous flower layering stamps. I also got this Flower Vine stamp set and a stamp set called New York, and it has the city skyline with a bunch of fun phrases. I also got two 6x6 paper packs. This is the Pastel Dreams paper pack, and this is what I'm going to be using on my layout today. I'm just going to flip through so you can get an idea of the different patterns. And I was also sent the Verdant Walk paper pack, and it has some really pretty pastels and florals, and I will be using that paper pack on my second layout. So I already did a little bit of work off camera. I grabbed a few of the patterns from the Pastel Dreams paper pack and used my Cricut with a cut file from the cut shop. This is the Just My Type cut file, and cut out the letters to spell out New York, New York. I am going to be using a photo from Las Vegas. This is of the New York, New York Hotel, and I've never been to New York City, so I was trying to figure out a way to use this New York stamp set because I really like the skyline. I like how it has a watercolor look to it, and I wanted to figure out a way to play with it without having a photo from New York City. So my idea was to position one set of the letters at the top of the layout and then another set of the letters at the bottom of the layout, and position my photo in the center, and then use that New York stamp set to add a little bit of interest to the background. I did add a layer of clear gesso to the background because I do plan on using some water with the stamp set, which you'll see a little bit later on in the video. So while I was letting the gesso dry, I did add some 3D foam squares behind each of the letters because I do want them to be raised off the background. Now I'm just getting a rough idea of where those letters are going to be placed so I know where I want to add my stamp on the background. So I'm going to lay my photo down, and then I'm going to grab the stamp and I'm going to position it on the background and then just slide all of those letters away because I know that's exactly where I want that image to be. I'm going to use my Tim Holtz stamp platform just to make sure that that stamp does not move and that it stays exactly where I positioned it on the background. So I am going to use a Distress Oxide ink because I do want to create a watercolor look with the stamp set, and I cannot remember off the top of my head the color of the ink, and I cannot see it in my editing screen here. So if you can't read it on the screen and you're curious, just leave a comment below in the video and I will make sure to look that up for you. So I know that you can't see me inking up the stamp. I'm sorry that that's off camera, but I first applied a layer of ink and then misted it with water to get this really watercolor look with the stamp set. And then I added more ink to the stamp and then stamped it again just to get a little bit more of that detailing in the stamp. So that way you could see a little bit more of the bridge and of the Statue of Liberty. I did a lot of fussy cutting off camera with those flowers. That is from another one of the pattern papers from this Pastel Dreams paper pack, and I wanted to use those as embellishments around the layout. Now I'm coming in with more of those phrase stamps that are included in the New York stamp set, and I'm using the same color ink and just adding a few of the phrases around the layout right next to the cut file. And I'm sorry that my head is getting in the way as I am stamping those, but I'm just using a regular clear acrylic block when I'm stamping, and I needed to make sure it was straight, so I needed to stand directly above the layout. So sorry that my head's in the way there. So once I get those stamped, I am going to add another pattern behind the photo just for a little bit more interest. And I'm actually using the backside of one of the pattern papers that I used with the cut file, so I was happy to get a little bit more use out of that 6x6 paper. And once I have that paper behind the photo, I'm going to come in and start adhering down the florals that I have scattered about the layout. And I do use liquid adhesive for a majority of those flowers because I do want to make sure that they stay in place. I do have that gesso on the background, and I found that sometimes tape runner adhesive doesn't hold up very well on the gesso because it does have more of a gritty texture. So I've adhered the pattern paper to the back of the photo, and I am getting ready to adhere it to the layout, but I realized that the center of the photo was dipping a little bit because I do have those 3D foam dots behind the cut file, so there was nothing supporting the center of the photo, and I need to end up adding 2 layers of that fun foam behind the photo in order to get it to the same level as the cut file. Now off camera, I did type up some journaling using my We Are Memory Keepers typecast typewriter, and I just cut that into small strips, and I'm going to position it right next to the stamped image on the right hand side of the layout. I'm going to go ahead and get the photo adhered down. I did use tape runner adhesive for the photo because I wanted to make sure that I liked the position of it. Same thing with these flowers. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep those flowers on the left side of the photo, and I didn't want to use liquid adhesive because liquid adhesive is very permanent. So if I put them down and didn't really like how they looked, there wasn't going to be an easy way for me to remove them without tearing the paper. So I will go back in off camera once I'm happy with the position and use some liquid adhesive to make sure that those are permanent. So I'm going to do the same thing with the journaling strips. I wasn't 100% sure that I liked the position of the journaling, so I just used a scrap piece of paper and then some tape runner adhesive to add some adhesive to the background of those strips. And then I'm using a pair of fine tipped tweezers to adhere those to the layout because the strips were so thin. I thought that that would be the easiest way to make sure that they were straight and to hold on to them and just to get them onto the background. Now I'm going to add the date using an Altenew date stamp, and this is actually part of one of the scrapbook kits that Altenew has released in the past, so this is not part of the new release. And I own both of the scrapbook kits. One is called Reflections and one is called Our Family, and I will link to those scrapbook kits in the description box below, and you can also purchase the individual items on Altenew's website, so I will link to those as well. These wood buttons are from one of the scrapbook kits also. I just wanted to add something for a little bit more embellishing, and then the same thing with these enamel dots. They come from one of the scrapbook kits also. And I'm adding those enamel dots as a visual triangle around the layout, and I actually position them right next to the phrase stamps that I used from the New York stamp set, just to draw a little bit more attention to that stamped detailing that I have on the background. So once I have those added to the layout, it's pretty much finished. I am going to hold it up to the camera so you can see it in a little bit more detail, and I will have still shots at the end of the video also. So if you are watching this video on my YouTube channel, I highly recommend that you head to my blog so that way you can follow along on the blog hop, and also so you can get yourself entered in a few different chances to win an Altenew gift card. Altenew is giving away a gift card on their scrapbooking blog and their card blog, and they were also kind enough to offer for me to give away a gift card to the Altenew website. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway on my blog is just head there and leave a comment on the blog post, and you will be entered to win a $30 gift card to Altenew. So definitely head there and check it out. I do want to give a huge thank you to Altenew for asking me to join in this new release blog hop. I had so much fun playing with these products, and I do have a second project to share using these amazing products that they sent me. So stay tuned for that video, and I do want to thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back again soon.